Cash Express there by Crosby, Stills and Nash, and before that the Minneapolis band The Litter with their song A Legal Matter, a Who cover. A new regular feature on the Cellar Tapes is an interview with the youth. I like to play all these 60s bands and from different genres and different countries, but what do the youth think about this music? What do they think? Last week you heard from Martin Willers from Dr. Mandrake, and this week I had the great pleasure of interviewing Andy Sheffield from Salford Blues act Hard Luck Child. Went round to his house, he made me a wonderful cup of tea, and we got talking about all things blues, and he came up with a new term which I quite like called Indinuts, which I'll be using regularly from now on. Thank you, Andy, for joining us here on Pure 107.8 FM. You are live, so please do not swear.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Can you just tell us where you're from, introduce yourself for the people listening at home?
Well, born in Salford. Like you, I imagine.
Yes.
A classic. Were you born at Hope?
I was born in Hope, yes.
I was born at Hope as well. Some other famous people. I don't know any of them, but I'm sure there's many.
Ben Kingsley, probably.
Probably footballers and not musicians.
Yeah.
I would imagine. But yeah, we're going to change that apparently. People will be like, yeah, that guy from Hard Luck Child's born at Hope Hospital.
So you're from Hard Luck Child.
Yeah.
What type of music do you play?
Well, it's blues music really. We've got a lot of rock in there, but I couldn't say that, you know, it's like blues in origin.
I've watched you play a couple of times, as you know. Big fan.
Thank you.
I'd describe it more as like a garage blues sound of the old school variety.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like a power trio type thing, really. Guitar and vocals. Dave, who's just, you know, rock on drums. Him and Matt have got a rhythm section, and they just basically hammer it out in one chord.
But it seems to be yourself being a bit raw up front. Dave at back being like Animal from the Muppets.
He's a beast.
And then Matt in the middle, who's kind of like a proper bassist.
He is. Matt's
like the glue.
Matt's the sort of like tied down one. Yeah, Matt's usually the most inebriated of the three of us. But yeah, basically, it's all based around sort of like quite a simple but primal rhythm. We usually play like an E and like a sort of just basically started off copying sort of some of the early blues people that had like a one chord groove and started around like that, and it's easy to then you've kind of got looseness that you can kind of like I'm up front there going out on my own and having a bit of a play around for myself really, and then Matt and Dave at the back keeping it steady. And it just gives a really sort of primal feeling, really, based in the blues, and then sort of like, obviously we've got rock influences that come over it. We're trying to do what we think a lot of, basically the best rock bands have ever done that, is they took sort of blues influence and the primal sort of rhythm of it, and just put their own flourishes on the top of it, and then, you know, that's where people like the Stones, that kind of thing, got the groove from, and what made it so attractive to people, because it's primal, really.
It's sort of like an old school British R&B band.
Basically, yeah, like garage blues, you know, much like the Sonics, which I know you like then.
Yes.
You know, it's sort of, you can tell the chords and the notes are based in blues, and they've took that and thought, what's so good about this? And it's the primal feeling in the notes that are in blues that drives it, and it's like a rhythm and a groove. They've just put their own thing on top of that and added, and that's what we're trying to do, like, that's what we identified in the bands that we like, really.
So, what's the future for Hard Luck Child then? Where are you going to go?
Well, hopefully we're going to, you know, get much attention and get signed, but we want to be sort of a well-liked but relatively unknown band, like a sort of, you know, not many people like them, but...
Well, we were talking before in the kitchen about the Sonics and how it's become like a pension plan for them, because at the time when they were recording the commercial flops, and then now all of a sudden they're doing very lucrative London gigs in the 60s, which is quite good for them. So
don't get wrong, I'd love us to be a massive flop, and then when I'm 50, you know, be doing some London gigs. I wouldn't mind getting a few pennies off it now, so I don't have to work at the office. But you know, that's what we're looking to do, really. We're not looking to, you know, go on Road to Isle of Wight unsigned and all that stuff. We're just trying to like play what we're doing now, a lot of like little places, and just tearing it out like a garage band, you know. And we want to record loads of stuff, and you never know, we're just really enjoying playing and doing something we think's different, you know, something that's a bit more sort of raw, a bit more powerful than a lot of, like, you know, don't want to name names, but some of the Indinuts out there, like the modern music.
Indinuts? I like that name. I'm going to keep that too.
Kind of, yeah, indie idiots. I think it's lost a lot of its sort of rawness, and power, and that's what we're trying to get back, really. Bit of rhythm.
Well, I'm pretty glad there's bands like you around anyway.
Thank you.
Right. You know you've got to come up with a request now for us.
Right, okay.
For the Cellar Tape listeners at home.
I can't request the Sonics, can I?
You can't request the Sonics, because there's going to be a Sonic song anyway, as always.
Right, okay.
Go on. What are you going to play?
Well, I'm going to request Parachute Woman by the Stones.
Okay.
That's
from Beggar's Banquet?
Yeah, it's a brilliant song. And it's really, it's just a 12-bar blues, really, a proper, you know, it could be straight out of the 30s, like, you know, Muddy Waters. It's a proper blues song, and the Stones did what we're looking to do with the blues and just added their little sort of swagger on top of it and made it into, like, a rock song, you know, which is brilliant. That's what we're looking to do ourselves.
Okay, well, thanks, Sander. We'll play that now for you.
Thanks,
and
Ben.
I'll plug your gig for tomorrow.
Hard Luck Child. Come and see us.
Okay, take
Cheers.
care, mate.